go. Shabbat Shalom, Israel. This is Soldier Donovan, Soldier Top, Officer Bear Kai back there in the back, man. We have Battle Axes Most High just coming at y'all again with another Sabbath pre-Sabbath? How you call it? Pre-Sabbath class, man. Before we get to Saturday, the full Shabbat, man. Yeah, Friday night feast. We were just talking about the title, Friday night feast, man. Title of this class is Always Going and Never Enough Time. Always going and never enough time. Because coming into this truth, man, we felt like before we got into truth, we felt like we had all the time in the world. We're in our 20s, our 30s, maybe early 40s. Guess what? You think you're at least making another 40 years. When you're 20, you think you're going to make another 60, 80 years. Guess what? When you're in your 30s, you're like, oh, I got another good 50 in me, But we never know the time whenever the Lord going to come back, whenever he's going to start sending back swords, pestilence, famine back in this world. We don't know these things, man. Guess what? Even the class I had before, guess what? The people who do know, we know now. But there's a lot of us who don't know nor consider or care about the things that's going on. And that's kind of what the class is going into, man. It's just time, man. It's time for everything. It's a time and season for everything. And that's kind of what we're going to touch on today, man. Shalom to brothers and sisters that's going to tune in or will tune in. I just please pray this class is edifying to y'all, man. Let's get into it. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. Matthew 24, 6. Shalom, y'all. Shalom.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6.
Check it out.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
So guess what, man? This is Christ. Christ literally said, matter of fact, let's jump up to verse 3.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 3.
Look at that.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying,
So guess what? Christ is sitting there, man. The disciples came into it privately, right? It's a private matter, not to let the whole world know, right? Read.
Saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Of the who?
And of the end of the world.
Because guess what? Everything is time, man. Time is always measured from the beginning. Guess what? From the beginning, the Lord told us what was going to happen in the end. And guess what? In the end, now we're reading about what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, and now we see that we're in the end times, man. Now jump back to verse 6.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
So guess what? He said in the end times and these times to come, you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. Guess what? We've been hearing about wars and we've been going through rumors of wars since, guess what? World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War. Guess what? The Cold War, the Soviet Union. We had all these things, right? Guess what? Now World War III is back on the rampage. Guess what? You got Russia, Ukraine. Guess what? You got Hamas. You got the Palestinians. You got all these wars going on now, man. Guess what? He said you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. But guess what? The rumors of wars that we're hearing now, guess what? China and the U.S. China and Russia against the U.S., man. Guess what? China and Russia and everybody else in the world against the U.S., man. These are things that we're hearing about now, right? Read on.
See that ye be not troubled.
But guess what he told you? He said, don't even be troubled. Don't be worried about this, man. Why? Read on.
For all these things must come to pass.
But guess what the Lord said? In verse 3, he said, when they asked the sign of his coming, they asked when the end come. They said, well, I'm going to tell you then. He said, these things must come to pass. Guess what? If we want Christ to come back and redeem us, these things have to happen. They must happen, right? Read on now.
But the end is not yet.
He said, your end is not yet. The end is not here. So you still got a little time, man. You still got a little time. That's the first thing I want to touch on was that grace, man. Because guess what? We got grace right now. But guess what? Grace is measured, man. Grace is not a time. Let's go ahead and get it. Titus 2:11, man. Guess what? Grace is not a time to just go off, man. Brothers always bring up the perfect example. Guess what? You get a grace period on your bills, on certain bills. They give you a grace period. But after that grace period, they always hit you with income, taxes, and fees, man. Guess what? Right now, we got grace period to do right. Because guess what? Right now, we're doing wickedly and we're not getting judged for it expediently, right? It's not coming on us as fast as we get it. But as soon as that grace period over, we're going to get everything plus some, man. Guess what? Whether it be wickedness or whether it be righteousness, man. And that's what's gonna come on us, right? But we're gonna get a little bit on that grace, man. When you get there, go ahead, all right?
This is the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11.
Bring it up.
For the grace of God.
For the who?
For the grace of God.
About the grace of God, right? Read.
That bringeth salvation had appeared to all men.
Guess what? Read on.
Teaching us.
Who?
Teaching us.
So this grace that the Lord gave unto all men, who is the men he talking about, is the Israelites, man. We can never forget that thought, too. Because guess what? Esau gonna try to slip their way in there. Moab will try to slip their way in there. Ammon. Guess what? We know all these people gonna try to slip their way in. And wicked Israelites. Guess what? Them of the circumcision, right? They're gonna try to slip themselves into that. Because guess what? It brings salvation. But guess what? It has to do what? I read 12.
Teaching us.
It has to teach you something, man. Guess what? If this law and this Bible don't teach you nothing, guess what? It's not for your salvation then, man. If this gonna bring you into the truth and show you how to keep God, law, statutes, commandments to bring you salvation, it's not teaching you nothing, man. It's gonna teach you how to be righteous and how to keep the commandments. And guess what? It's also gonna teach you what the wicked gonna get if they don't do so, right? Read on, huh?
Teaching us that denying ungodliness.
Guess what? It's literally saying what I just said. Denying ungodliness, man. All wickedness, right? Read.
And worldly lust.
Guess what? Worldly lust, man. The things of this world, the things that you lust after, man. Whether it be the love of money, the love of women, cars, clothes. Guess what? The love of religion. Loving your pastor so much that you know the truth and you still want to stay there. Guess what? Loving your mama so much to where you want to celebrate the high holidays instead of celebrating God high holy days. Just because you love them so much. This world got you so bad and in the chokehold that you want to sit up there and just say, hey, forget it. I'm gonna freak out. I got grace, I got time, right? I'm blessed and highly favored, right? I'm saved by the blood of sweet baby Jesus, right? But guess what? We know Christ, hey, he a man of war just like his father. He ain't come back as no sweet baby, how everybody want to portray him to be. He come back to kill a lot of people.
So he comes back as a God, man.
Yeah, he come back as a guy, not as no damn baby. Let you try to pinch Christ's cheeks and you ain't sin, man. He'll chop your head off, man. For real, man. We got to quit playing with Christ like that, for real. We really got to stop playing with Christ. We really do, man. It's been on me heavy, man. A lot of us be playing with Christ. I've thought about that myself, bro. When you go off in the smallest amount of matter, no matter where it is, what time it is, whatever it is, you're playing with Christ, man. Guess what they say? You crucifying him afresh. Every time you go off, this is what you're doing. Guess what? When you don't deny worldly lust, when you let in ungodliness, man. Guess what? That's what you're doing. You saying to hell with my grace. This is what I'm going to use it for. I don't want it to teach me nothing. I just want to go off, right? Read out.
We should live soberly.
Read that again.
We should live soberly.
Guess what, man? Not tossed with strong drink of wind of other doctrines, right? Not, guess what, literally drunk, man. Literally high out here in these streets, man. Living soberly with the Lord, man. Knowing the things that's going on in this world, man. Guess what? When you're sober, you're attentive to things, man. You know what's going on. You listening to Al Jazeera. Guess what? You're watching the fake news and CNN, because CNN got to tell you some truth too. They'll tell you one truth and three lies. You just got to see which one's which. But guess what? It's out there, and we all see it. No matter where you go, guess what? You got to see it. That's why you say you got to live soberly, right? Read. Righteously, man. Read.
And godly.
Read.
In this present world,
man, because this world wicked as hell, man. This world is wicked as hell. Guess what? The world is at its all-time wickedest. That's why the Lord gave us grace right now. Because guess what? Back then, guess what? The Lord had just created the earth, and he seen how wicked it was. He didn't even let it go that far. He said, man, I'm flooding it out. Right. It's gone. I'm done with it. I'm going to wipe my hands with it. He said, matter of fact, I'll say these 8 right here. Everybody else gone. Think about it now, man. Think about it right now. 8 people out of a population of 7 billion, 8 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people, man. That's go ahead.
Well, he even said, he was multiplied in the earth, man. So, we see that the Most High God, he started over, almost started over, except for Noah, he's seeing righteousness in Noah. But even with now, man, we know evils is multiplying. It's way worse than what it was back then. Yeah. Because at least back then we knew who he was. We had some type of respect, even though we were still going out. Now we just don't give a damn. We want to be niggas.
That's crazy too that you say that, because think about it. Even them back then in ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, they wanted to sleep with angels. But you know what they meant? They wanted to sleep with angels. They believed in angels. They believed in the power of the Lord. Guess what? They chose to go off, but guess what? They still had that knowledge. Now They still doing the same exact thing, but they don't even got knowledge with none of these things. They don't even have a choice of repentance. They don't know what repentance is. Them people knew. Guess what? Them of the Israel, or the future Israelites to come, of course, through the generation and lineages. Guess what? And guess what? All the people of the world, they can get it. But guess what? This is what grace is for, to teach you something, man. To teach you to deny ungodliness, worldly lust. And guess what? Live soberly, righteously now, man. Righteousness. Deuteronomy 6:25, man. And godly, man. A godly man, guess what? That 1 Kings 2:1, man. Walking after the Lord, man. These are the things that grace should do for you. And guess what? These are things that's always going, man. And I always say it's always going and never enough, because guess what? It's still going to be people at the end of the day that try to run and play with grace, man. And they don't feel like it's not enough time, but the Lord going to give you ample amount of time. That's what he's doing right now, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Because like even, we always got to touch every aspect of it. Like going back to verse 11, it said, and salvation had appeared unto all men, or like grace appeared to all men. They see who he was. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Yeah. People, they see all men, they talking about, oh, that's talking about everybody. But let's go ahead and get that.
I got you. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 15. This the people saw and understood it not.
Read on.
Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and his mercy is with his saints.
So we know who the saints is according to Psalms 148:14. But read on.
And that he hath respect unto his chosen.
You know what the chosen is? Isaiah 44:1. That's the Israelites, man. All day, every day.
That's right.
That's all over.
All praises, man. Hey, that's tough, man, because I guess I was gonna pull it, but that's all. That's the spirit, boy. I'm telling you, because it show you who that grace is for. But guess what? Time is off. Guess what? Time ain't waiting for you. Christ is not gonna wait for you. I was just reading that with my wife, Luke 9:62, or 60, the whole chapter on down. We was reading that. Dude asked Christ, he said, "I'll follow you wherever you go, Christ. Let me just go and bury my father real quick." He said, "No, let the dead bury the dead." He said, go preach the kingdom of heaven, though. He said, but hey, because guess what? The walk that Christ was walking on this earth, guess what? It wasn't of men. He didn't do it for nobody but the Father. And that's how we got to be locked in, man. Guess another dude said, "Hey, I'll follow you wherever you go, Christ. Let me just go say bye to my family real quick." He said, "Man, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom, man." Guess what? Because this thing going to keep on rolling, right? How that song goes.
Like roughly paraphrase, even how he said, "Hey, these that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that's my father, that's my brother, mother, and sister."
That's it, man. Because guess what? Time is never gonna stop, man. It's always gonna go. These prophecies gonna keep getting fulfilled, whether you repenting or not. So guess what? Something that's always going, and it's never gonna be enough for people who choosing not to let it be, right? To get the next precept, let's go to Romans 13:11. This is Officer Berakah, most favorite precept in the whole wide world, man. It's his favorite precept, but it's a heavy precept, man. Get there, go ahead, man.
This book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Read.
And that knowing the time.
And that who?
And that knowing the time.
But guess what? That's the title of this class. It's time, man. Guess what? We got to know the time that we living in right now, Israel. Read.
That now it is high time.
Guess what? Even Christ said out of his own mouth. He said, you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars at this high time. Guess what? The end times is the high time, man. He said, hey, you got to know the time, though. Guess what? How it said in Titus, be sober. Guess what? Be righteous, man. Understand these things, right? Read.
To awake out of sleep.
Read on, right?
For now it's our salvation nearer than what we believe.
Guess what? It's time to wake out of sleep. We've been asleep for too long, man. Stuck in our old ways, stuck in various religions, man, stuck in different doctrines, man. Awake out of sleep, Israel. Realize your true godlyship, man. Realize that, hey, I'm a king on this earth, and I ain't got much time to prove it. Guess what? Let me lay up some treasures to heaven, so hopefully, Lord willing, He give me this back, man. Guess what? That's the time we supposed to clock in daily, man. It's a time, man. You work at your job from 8. I know Israelites usually work from 8 hours to 16 hours a day. That's how long we usually work. Guess what? That's all that time to Esau, man. You got to clock in for the Lord too, man. You got to clock in for the Lord, man. Esau don't give a damn what you do. They don't care if you walk, if you ain't got no legs. As long as you can limp or water your butt into work and clock in and out, that's all they want, man.
Right. Didn't regard the old or young.
Man, so they don't care, man. And guess what? The Lord, He just wants you to clock in for Him too. He don't care if you tired, man. Guess what? I'm tired as hell. Guess what? I still had to clock in, man. I still got to clock in because guess what? I want to make accounts. Whenever I'm brought up to Judgment Day, I'm like, Lord, I had a long day. Esau whooped my ass today. But Lord, I made sure I came and served you too. I gave you your due diligence too, Lord. Remember me for these things, right? Don't remember me for my wickedness, man. Remember me for the things that I tried to do for you while I had the time here, right? Read on now.
Verse 12. The night is far spent.
Because guess what, man? The night is far spent, man. Guess what? All the things that before time, that's behind us now, right? Read.
The day is at hand.
Hey, the day is at hand now, man. We're getting closer and closer each and every day, man. Read,
Let us therefore cast out the works of darkness.
Cast off the who?
The works of darkness.
Cast off the works of darkness, man. Guess what? Anything that's contrary to the Bible and against his law, statute, commandments is darkness, man. Thanksgiving is darkness. Christmas is darkness, man. Guess what? All these different diverse religions is darkness to our people. Why? Because it keeps us asleep, man. Guess what? This, man, I'm saying this is tough, man. Because guess what? He told the Gentiles, quote unquote, you know, I know our brothers to wake out of sleep, out of darkness. Because guess what? They were stuck in that. Right. Guess what? The Gadites stuck in the sun, the stars, the moon. Guess what? Issachar, they love them some Jesus Christos. They love the Catholicism. They love these things so bad that they are asleep right now, man. Guess we got our people in Christianity, man. All the way up, man. These are all the things. That's why the Lord said, wake out of sleep, man. Read on now.
And let us put on the armor of light.
And he said, take off that darkness that veil that you got on, man. And put on the armor of light, man. Read.
Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
Guess what? Not rioting, not, oh, you just everywhere, right? You don't have no self-control, not in drunkenness. You kind of just all over the place, right? Read.
Not in chamber, and wantonness.
Read.
Not in strife.
Guess what? Not in strife, wanting to fight, not being combative against your brothers and sisters, right? Read.
In envy.
Guess what? Stop hating, man. Just stop hating. That's a lot of stuff that we do too, man. Whether it be in the truth of the world, that's one thing Israel good for is hating. Right. Guess what? You so envious that the Most High God gave you this type of administration. Now another brother have a different administration, and now guess what? You know you can still help. You know you got different things to do. Nah, this nigga, nah, hell nah. I ain't got time for that. Because that's the title of this class is time. Now you ain't got time to help this nigga, but this nigga was just your brother. You was shalom him. All of this, man. Well, guess what? When the Lord give increases in due time, which we're gonna read in due season. Guess what? Isn't your time for these things, man? Just like the Lord said, the night is far spent, the day is at hand, man. Because the Lord is waking up his elect and he's sealing them off. So if you're not getting no increases, you're not putting in no work for the Father, hey, it just might not be for you. If the Lord ain't dealing with you, guess what? If he said the night is far spent, the day is at hand, guess what? When the Lord trying to speed these things up and we praying for it, if you feel yourself slowly regressing and you know you're not repenting, hey, he said, my sheep hear my voice, man. Hey.
That's a true statement. Like, even with that envy, like how you got brothers saying, if you ain't with us, you ain't in the truth. Hey, you envying that next camp or whatnot because you like, okay, if you ain't with us, you ain't in the truth. You basically hating on that camp because they bringing out something different. But hey, y'all still delaying or like relying the same message, trying to keep the commandments. So why would you, say something like that or whatnot? But that's for a subject of another time. Bro.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, that envy, man, that's one thing that keeps us, man. Because guess what? The Lord can already have the 1/3. The 1/3 is probably already right there. But he just waiting on one of y'all, man. One of y'all got so much envy and hatred towards one another. It's like as soon as you let that go, we're going home. You probably the last one holding us back. But you hate your brother so I just can't. I just can't, man. It ain't enough hours in the day that I can hate this nigga. Right. I mean, you're a stink meter, man. Right. You hate so damn bad. Guess what? Even in death, you wanted to hate so bad, man. That nigga said, I hate my skin because it's black, man. That I hate my gums because they black, man. Yeah, man. I'm just telling you. But guess what? That's the type of envy and strife that we have in Israel, man. That's why the Lord said, take off them works, man. Put that off. He said, man, the day is at hand, man. We don't got a lot of time, Israel. Because guess what? That's something that's always going, and it's never going to truly be enough, man. Because guess what? If it was enough, guess what? Instead of 1/3 of our people make it, it'll be 3, the whole full part. But guess what? It's not gonna be enough time for all of that. Because guess what? If we gotta wait for all of Yasharala to come together, we'll be here for a long time. We're gonna be here for a real, real long time, man. That's why this time is at hand for the guess what? The people who understand what they need to do. They need to walk in the ways, man, and they need to keep these commandments, man. Read on, now.
But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Christ, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Guess what? He said, man, take all of this off you, man. Put on Christ, man. He said, be ye perfect, right? Guess what? Be perfect, man. We understand you're going to fall. We understand these spirits going to keep lingering around, right? We understand that. But guess what? Knock it off, man. Guess what? Even Christ had a spirit of faintness on him one time, man. He said, Lord, if it be in your will, take this cup out of my hand, man. Right. But then, hey, the Lord strengthened him up. He said, hey, if it be your will, I'm going to do it still. Right. Guess what? That's how we got to be, man. Christ gave us a perfect example of what we needed to do, man. In our trials and tribulations. Guess what? Even in our glory, at our highest estate, he showed you how to remain humble and meek throughout it all, man. Right. Guess what? Christ knew everything, man. He could literally make anything happen. But he still chose to call you his brother, right, his sister, friend, and still tell you everything his father told him, man. He still chose to do that for you. Why? So, because right now he told you the time is at hand, man. Guess what? If he call you a friend, that means he want to see you again, man. Guess what? He's seen them spirits, man. He want to see that spirit again. Guess what? That might be your spirit now. This body that we in, that spirit been back here. He probably want that spirit back, but you gotta want it too, man. Right. Because this time is getting short, man. Guess what? This is how you got good spirits back on this earth. Don't get me wrong. Some spirits ain't coming back. Like he ain't bringing Enoch's spirit back. You're not gonna bring. Guess what? Yeah, he ain't gonna bring them back like that, man. Because he don't want them to get corrupted. But hey, some of them spirits might be still out here, man. You gotta be willing to stand 10 toes down for your Lord, man. Get the next precept. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's get Ecclesiastes 3:1. I'm gonna read this whole thing, but I just want to get a couple out of this, man.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Guess what? You said in everything, man. There's a time and a season for everything. Guess what? It's a time and a season for even the roaches to come out on the walls, man. Right. They know, oh, it's about the sun going down. They usually eat about 7 o'clock. I know some crumbs on the floor. It's a time and a season for everything, man. Guess what? It's a time and a season for your car to need an oil change. It's a time and a season for you to have to go to the restroom. You know, every morning, I gotta either go take this morning piss, or I'm gonna go take this morning. It's one of the two. But it's a time and a season for anything that you do to read your Bible, right? Guess what? To study, to pray, to fast. It's a time and a season for everything, right? Read.
A time to be born.
Guess what? A time to be born, right? Read.
And a time to die.
Guess what? This, because right now it's people dying right now at this second, but it's people being born right now at this second. Spirits leaving, spirits coming back. It's a constant thing, man. Guess what? This is constantly happening, man. So we can never be we can never look shy of that, right? Read.
A time to plant. And a time to pluck up.
Because guess what? My bad. Go ahead, read it, finish it out.
And a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Because guess what, man? It says a time to plant. Because guess what? It's a lot of brothers and sisters coming into this truth right now. A lot of them getting planted with righteousness right now. Getting that little bit of water that Paul and Apollos was talking about, right? Planting and watering. But guess what? It's a lot of brothers and sisters too that's getting plucked up at this truth too, man. Guess what? They said truth is a revolving door, man. It's either you're growing or you're withering, man. Guess what? This that season right now. It's winter. Guess what? If you ain't stacked up, you ain't get your stuff together right now, it's gonna be a long, cold winter. I was just in New Mexico. It's cold out there already. Trust me, it's cold. It's snowing out there. Hey, it's cold. Guess what? It's cold right now too. With this world waxing colder, and weaker. Hey, you gotta let your light shine, man. Read on now.
A time to kill.
Because guess what? It's a lot of killing going on too now. Guess what? Killing that old man. Guess what? Killing one another. Esau killing whoever they gotta kill all the time because they just like killing their hunters. Right. Guess what? This is time to kill, man. Read.
And they time to heal.
Guess what? We killing off that old man, but we healing it with the word. Guess what? Esau killing us in the street, but guess what? It's still healing us at the end because these things have to happen, right? Guess what? All these things are happening right now. We killing false doctrines, man, and building our people up with the truth, man. Guess what? That's why I said Proverbs 27:5, man. It said, faithful are the wounds of a friend, man. Because guess what? It hurt, but we putting something back there, man. Esau just gonna cut you and stab you and guess what? Rough you up and ain't gonna give you nothing. Guess what? We gonna cut you up and it's gonna hurt, but we're gonna build you back up too, man. We're gonna cover up them boo-boos, right? Read.
Ain't time to break down.
Guess what? Breaking down strongholds, breaking down all these things that's on our people, breaking down spirits, man. Guess what? Breaking down precepts, breaking down understandings of these Bibles so continue to grow and prosper, right? Read.
And a time to build up.
Guess what? The time to break down. Guess what? You know, Maccabee love to break down, man. Maccabees literally break down the scripture for 3 hours. Or you cut on some music, he'll literally break down too. He'll break it down and break it back up. But guess what? That's what the time is for, right? Read.
They used to break down and dance too.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, he'll break it down and break it back up, right? Read on now.
And a time, well, in a time to weep.
A time to weep, man. A sense of mourning. Guess what? Going through the times of our afflictions right now, knowing Jacob's in trouble is on the rise, man. It's a time for weeping right now, mourning, right? Guess what? Who just brought that out in their class? Ehud. He was going into mourning, man. Our people mourning, man. Guess what? This is a time to weep, right? Read.
And a time to laugh.
But guess what, man? He said, you're going to mourn, but then laugh, man. Why? Because the Lord told you in Revelation 2:9, man. He said, I know y'all works and your poverty, but you rich, man. Laugh at these things, man. The heathen persecuting you, keep on. Keep doing it. Like the 7 children. He said, come on, I'm right here. Do it. Because guess what? We know the reward, man. We know what time it is, man. We know what's going to come with it. And guess what? It's either you're going to stand on business, like how all this thing been going, like how T.I.'s son said, I stand on business. You know that I stand on business. When he really don't stand on nothing like that. But guess what? Us for the Lord, man, we going to show y'all we stand on business, right? Guess what? Nehemiah showed you he stand on business at any given time, man. Guess what? Was it against his people or against the other nation? Christ showed you he stood on business. Guess what? Paul stood on business like a mud. Peter, he showed you he stand on business. Walk up too close, he cut that ear off. Hey, he was Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson was around, man. Bite that ear off. Hey, call it back in Holyfield, ain't it? But read on now.
A time to mourn. And a time to dance.
We're just talking about it, man. Guess what? You sad. But now it's time to dance, man. Rejoice in this thing, man. Guess what? It might feel bad. Because guess what? Even back then in the Exodus days, man, our people were mourning. Oh, it would have been better there. We would have been in Egypt. Oh, man, I left all my stuff there. But guess what? Then you had some Israelites who was dancing. They were happy they left the wilderness, man. Oh, thanks to the Lord, man, God of the heavens, right? Moses and them tambourines, tambourines, all these things. They going in. They dancing. But guess what? There's a time for mourning for a lot of people too, right? Read on.
A time to cast away stones. And a time to gather stones together.
But guess what? The Lord did cast us away, right? Them stones. Guess what? That's us too. Because guess what? He had 12 stones for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. He had a time when he casted us away, right? And he said it's a time to gather the stones together. It's a time and a season for everything with the Lord, man. It was a time that he put us away for us being wicked. And now it's a time that he bringing us back, man. Because this time right now is high time. Guess what the Lord said? If Christ said it, then we know that, hey, Christ is not a man that he going to have to repent because guess what? His father is not a man that he going to lie, right? What's that? Number 23:19, right? Come on, now we understand these things, right? Read.
A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
And that's tough, man. Read 6.
A time to get.
It's a time to get, because hey, sometimes it's a time to get understanding. Guess what? To get whooped, to get punished. Guess what? A time to get chastened. Because guess what, man? Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's been going on in Israel, man. Brothers been getting chastened, man. I know for sure, man. I know a couple of brothers, man. Guess what? Work been slow. Guess what? Cars been getting wrecked. My mama car just got wrecked yesterday. My mama car just got wrecked yesterday. Guess what? It's been numerous wrecks I've been hearing about brothers. This whole bunch. All hell is breaking loose. But guess what? You'll never know it, man. Because guess why? Why? Because he said it's a time to weep. We already weeping. But guess what? Then it's a time to laugh. Guess what? It was a time to mourn. We was mourning at first, but now we dancing. That's why Jerubbaal had brought it out in his class, man. You got to discern the spirits and discern the time, man. He said, hey, how you read in, what was that, Proverbs? What was that, Proverbs 31? I think, yeah, Proverbs 31:6, give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Guess what it said? Let him drink let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Because guess what, man? We might be going through hard times. Guess what? Take a couple shots of Crown. Guess what? I don't even remember what was going on. The lights might be off. We cut on a couple candles, man. The Lord, hey, showing us these things, right? We're gonna be in the wilderness. Let's go chop up some wood and start a fire. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but it's a time and a season for everything, man. Knowing that our time is short to get right with the Lord. But guess what? Also knowing the times in between that, man. Knowing the time in between the grace that you got, man. Guess what? Guess what the time? I ain't even finna go to verse 7.
Right, a time to get and a time to lose.
Oh yeah. Oh my bad. Yeah. Go ahead.
A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away.
Guess what? Sometimes we got some of that leisure time we have and that empty free time we gotta cast it away sometimes. Because why? That's an idleness of mind, man. And guess what? That's a devil's workshop, right? Read on. Now.
A time to read and a time to sow.
It says time to rent, time to get stuff off of you. Guess what? Pull off them old layers. Guess what? Pull off that old time, old things, right? And it's a time to sow, right? Now you putting it back together. Guess what? Now you sowing good things, right? So you can reap benefits, right? Read.
A time to keep silence.
Guess what? It's a time to shut your mouth, man. It's a time to just be quiet. Brothers and sisters got to understand that too, man. Sometimes it's not a season to just open up and talk all the time, man.
Right.
Sometimes it's better to be quiet and just observe the time that's going on than to just talk all the time. Because when you talk, that's when you get caught up in things. Now you over here, now you over there, now you gossiping, now you in drama. Guess what? It's just not your damn season to talk. Guess what, brother? It's probably not your season to say something right now. Guess what? Be quiet, be observant. Look at these things. Look at the patterns, man. The Lord said he like a pattern of good works, right? So if you want a pattern of good works, if somebody in wrong, you gotta see a pattern of bad works too now. That's why you gotta be quiet sometimes, man. Of course, correct your brother, right? In season and out of season. But guess what? It's a time to know what to say and how to say it, right? Read.
Yeah, but like even like how the Most High God made our anatomy and whatnot. He gave us 2 eyes to see. He gave us 2 ears to hear, and he gave us 1 mouth. So what that tell you? We shouldn't be using this all the time, man.
Yeah, even 2 nostrils.
Yeah, 2 nostrils, man. So hey, that should tell you, man. But that's it.
Yeah, man. Read that again.
And a time to speak.
Guess what? It's a time to keep silence, to shut your damn mouth sometimes, man. Because your mouth can get you in a lot of trouble. Sisters got that bad, man. Sisters got that real, but I just gotta say something to you, man. I got to tell this nigga how I feel. He gotta feel me. Because if he don't feel me, then I don't care. But guess what? It's a time to keep sister. Maybe just go be quiet.
Yeah, for real.
Go read your Bible. Man, go to sleep. God damn, just go over there, man. Guess what, man? It's just a time to keep silence. Like, hey, so I'm laughing, but it ain't funny. Because sometimes it is, hey, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. And I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters don't like counseling so much. I'm gonna tell you, all that stuff can get solved with you shutting your damn mouth. Because guess what? You 1 or more 2 words. Guess what? Now, oh, here you go, right? Here we go. It's called, guess what? UAB. That's 3 words. Them 3 words you could have kept in your mouth, man. Guess what? Them 3 words done led into 3 days in argument, man. You kept them 3 words back. Guess what? You good now. Hey, we get in trouble a lot with our mouth, man. But guess what? It's gonna be a time to speak too now, right? Matter of fact, read
A time to love and a time to hate.
Because guess what? That's what it is, man. Sometimes it's a time to love, and sometimes it's a time to hate. I'm gonna tell you, man, we love our wives, and our wives, they love their husbands, man. Guess what? We love the godly woman in them. We love the godly men in them, right? We see the spirit on them. We see the good spirit on them. But it's times when we hate the worldly person, man. Damn, I hate that we in this world and that you got that type of spirit on you, man. I hate it. So guess what? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut my mouth because that worldly woman is ruling on your ass right now. And I know I'm not gonna get into it with that person right there, man. Right. I'm gonna wait till you come back into your godliness, and I'm gonna tear your ass up with these scriptures, man. Right. Hey, that's why the Lord said, man, it's a time to love. Because guess what? I love you. I love you like a mug. But I hate that wicked spirit on you, man. I hate that we in our land of captivity, man. I hate that we got to go to work every damn day. I hate that we have to work, man. Right. Guess what? I hate all these things. I hate Esau. I hate Ammon. I hate Moab. I hate all. Hey, come on. I hate Ham. I hate all y'all. But I love my people, man. But guess what? That's why I said it's a time to love and it's a time to hate, man. Read on, huh?
A time of war.
Guess what? Christ told you. It's going to be wars and rumors of wars. It's the time for war right now, right?
Read. And a time of peace.
Guess what? When we get that time of peace, after what? Guess what? Isaiah 63:1, man. When Christ come back and tread that wine press alone, come back and kill all these folks, show them who the real king is. That's going to be the time of peace right there. We can't wait for that thing too, man. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see if I want some more on that. Matter of fact, yeah, verse 11.
Verse 11. He had made everything beautiful in his time.
Guess what? In his time, man. The Lord gonna make things beautiful in his time, man. Guess what? It was a perfect thing for the Lord for you to lose your car that day. It was a perfect thing for the Lord to send you through this trials and tribulation. Why? Because he know in due season, this right here is purifying you, man. This right here is cleansing you, man. He's gonna put stuff on you to see if you're gonna be able to bear it. Because he'll always give you a way out. Like I said, 1 Corinthians 10:13, he will always give you a way. This is beautiful in his time, right? It might look bad for you. But guess what? It takes a lot of pressure to form a diamond, man. A lot of pressure. That sometimes we need that, man. Gold gotta get, hey, you gotta get tried in the fire. The fire ain't this kind of this on it. Nah, it's pushing through that mud. It's purifying, man. How to say about Hebrews 4:12, piercing even the dividing asunder, man, through the bone and through the marrow of the joints. Your spirit, your soul, it gotta get in there. It got to get in there. It might look bad, but it's beautiful in his time, man.
Because even with Christ, that's why he said it pleased the Lord to bruise, his son. Right. So, the Most High God, he looked at that as a beautiful thing because in the end, yeah, Christ is gonna be coming back and destroying them people, man.
And it's gonna be beautiful, man. Hey, it's gonna be beautiful.
Let it go a minute out. Beautiful.
That's right. Read, huh?
Also, he has set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that God make it from the beginning to the end.
And that's tough, man. That is tough, man. That is tough. Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Got to.
And also that every man should eat and drink.
Guess what? That's what we gotta do, man. Every man should eat and drink, man. Sometimes it's a season of hey, we got high holidays, we got feast days. It's time to eat and drink and chill, man. Read
and enjoy the good of all his labor.
Guess what? We've been laboring hard on the streets, man. We just finished rebuking all these spirits, our brothers and sisters. We done bid our people back to this marriage. Guess what? Now that was the labor we put in for the Lord. Now we can eat and drink comfortably, knowing we did something for the Lord, man. I don't know about you, man. I don't give a damn. I can work 5 days. That Friday, when I'm off now, it still don't feel no better. Though none of them days compare to the day, that evening, right after the Shabbat, man. Don't nothing feel better. It feel like I done conquered the world after that Sabbath, man. I done got these spirits off me. I done got these spirits off brothers and sisters. Man, that labor right there is hard, man. But that's why he said that, man.
Like even if you look at like a physical aspect, like how like you had people that go to war and right after war they'll go and drink it up and eat and have a cheerful mind, man, because they see that they conquer something. But on the spiritual aspect, we doing the same thing, man.
That's right. You just read and enjoy.
Oh, verse 13.
Yeah.
And enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God.
That's what the Lord gave you. He gave you the opportunity. Guess what he said? You can drink strong drink. He gave you opportunities for that. Guess what he said? It's okay to be wine and to drink wine and be married. That's the gift of God to you. Why not take the opportunity, right? Man, I worked hard for you, Yahweh. I did the will that, guess what, you gave to Yahweh to the apostles, right? Guess what, to the prophets. Now it's time to reap a little bit of it. Guess what, I'm going to fully reap this thing when you come back and redeem us. Guess what, hey, man, I think I can settle for some wings and a good little bottle of Crown, man. I'm all right with that. But these are some of the things that the Lord said it's time and seasons for everything, right? Even if, like, guess what, a time to repent. Guess what? It's times and seasons that you're going to sin. It's times and seasons where you're going to have to repent of them things, right? You're going to throw all these things on you, man. You're just going to see how you're going to do, right? Hit the next precept. Let's go to, let's see if I want this. Let's see. Go to, let's see if I want this. I was going to get it, but I don't really want that. I gotta forgive me for this Bible, man. It's all messed up.
You got the only one that came out. Yeah, so this one was good Bible, man.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go to James 4:13. James 4:13. We're almost out of here, y'all, man.
It's the book of James, chapter 4, and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain.
Because guess what? This is somebody saying, all right, man, I'm in Houston. I'm going to go move down to Dallas. I'm going to stay here about a year or two, stack up my bread, get good a little bit, and then I'll probably come back, right? Read on.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
Guess what? We don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. Right. Guess what? The next 3 minutes, guess what? Esau could cut off our feed, and we're just going to be sitting here. Right. Guess what? In the next 15 minutes, guess what? The Lord could send back Christ. Guess what? In the next 2 minutes, it could happen. Guess what? We don't know what's going to happen during this time. Guess what? That's what he's telling you right now, right? Read.
That's why we always say, like, Lord's will. That's
this it right here.
Like we say, Lord's will.
That's it.
Hey, I'm praying.
Go ahead.
Jump to good. But it says,
verse 14.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life?
So what is your life, man? Guess what? You ain't nothing but earth and ashes. You basically telling the Lord what you finna do. And if he don't comply to that, you got a problem with it. Guess what? The Lord said he do everything beautiful in this time. Guess what? It might not be the season for you to, guess what, say what you want to say and think it's going to come out like that. Guess what? The Lord does hear the prayer of the righteous, but it might not be the season for that prayer to be answered right now, man. It might not be the season for that, man. You might be praying for something, but the Lord know that if I get this to him right now, it's a spirit that's been lingering on him just a little bit. And as soon as he get it, it's going to get him. Because he's going to fall back a little bit and enjoy that, and it's going to get him. Oh, guess what? I can't get this to this brother right now. Why? Because I want to see if he can. I'm gonna see if he can still uphold this if I don't give it to him in his time, man. I'm gonna see. He said, Lord, can you give me a job within a month? I'm gonna make this nigga wait 2 months. Matter of fact, I'm making him wait 3 months. I'm still gonna make sure he pay all his bills. I'm gonna see how long he can really wait, man. I'm gonna see if he gonna stay with me or he gonna try to find another way to go make some money. Let me see if he gonna find another God to pray to answer his prayers, man. Guess what? These are the things that the Lord trying to do, right? We're trying to see you to do, right? Read.
For what is your life?
He said, what is your life, man? Read.
It is even a vapor that appeared for a little time.
And guess what? You know, you driving in the truck, man. If it's cold outside and it's warm and your car's going to get the fog on the car, right? Man, all you got to do is cut the little air on, it's gone. That's what your life is, right? Read.
And then vanish it away.
Right there, like I said, right? Read.
For that ye ought to say.
They say you ought to say this. Read.
If the Lord will.
Man, the Lord will, man. Read.
We shall live and do this or that.
And I'm telling you, if this ain't black folks, man, what you ought to say is if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. Right. You don't know, no white boy say that. We don't either do this or that. It's literally something he said. You can get with this or you can get with that, right? You can get with this or you can get with that, right?
Or even with the word ought, man. We use that
you ought doing things that you ought not, man. You ought not to say, man. Man, I'm telling you, that's why the Lord said, man, he said for what you ought to say. Because a lot of brothers and sisters get carried by these things, man. We think the Lord is gonna be we think the Lord gonna be with us hand and foot, right, begging, Guess what? He did have his arms spread out for you all the day long. But guess what? Now that you with him, he ain't just here to, oh, what did you say, Soldier Donovan? Okay, whatever you want, I got you. Oh, what did you say, Soldier Rockstock? Okay, I got you. What did he say, Officer Barrick? No, man. You serving the Lord. Right. Guess what? You when he tell you to jump, guess what? You don't ask how you jump, and he'll show you how you need to go, man. Guess what, man? The Lord told you to study, show yourself approved. He didn't tell you how much you needed to study or how little you need to study. Once you start studying, the Lord will show you how much you need to. Man. Guess what? The Lord will show you everything that you need to do. You just need to do it. Guess what? The time is getting close, man. Like you said, the day is at hand. Guess what? This time is always gonna go, man. Guess what? Brothers might get 20 minutes to study a day. And that 20 minutes, man, the Lord dealing with them so hard that they get everything that they done read, man. Guess what? They can go into a full down spill in 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, compared to a brother that might have ample opportunity 2 or 3 hours to study, man. Guess what? A whole day to study. Guess what? You never know how the Lord will deal with you, but you got to trust in that, man.
Yeah, go ahead. There was a time where like the Lord basically did beg us, but hey, when that grace run out, he ain't finna do no more business.
That's it.
Hey, that's it, man. Because I forgot what priest it was in Jeremiah. And he was basically like pleading with him.
Chapter 3.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, you got the Most High God begging us, man. Hey, we better do it because he created. Like he won't knock your block off, man.
Yeah.
But you know.
But I'm gonna tell you, he begged you to come serve him. He didn't beg you so that he could give you everything you want. He begged you so you can come serve him. Because guess what? He know once you serving me, he said, I can make your enemies at peace with you. I can make them your footstool. I can give you all these blessings I told you in 28 and 1 on down, Deuteronomy. Guess what? I can give you the kingdom. Guess what? I gave you my son. Guess what? I give you the angels to watch over you and record you. I got the angels to watch over there and fight those spirits off of you. Guess what? I got all these things for you. You just need to come serve me, man. That's what the Lord wanted you to do. So read that again, 15.
Verse 15. But that ye ought to say.
So this is what you really need to be saying, man. Read.
If the Lord will.
Guess what? Lord willing. Guess what? Anytime we should finish whatever sentence it is, be like, hey, man, shalom, my Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm laughing, but that's kind of how we really need to have that mindset, man. Because guess what? I always tell brothers and sisters, I said, Lord willing, I get to see y'all next week. Because guess what? You never know what can happen between now and then, man. I'm telling you, with Elijah and Elisha, when they left and they was on their journey, I'm pretty sure somebody thought they were going to see Elijah when he came back. Oh, he going to come back to the quarters. We'll see him in about a couple of days. Elijah never came back. Elisha did. Guess what? The Lord took him up. You never know what can happen, man. The Lord said, guess what? Them chariots like a twinkling of an eye. All it takes is for you to blink and you're gone, man. Come on, we got to look at this like this, man. The time is too short, man. Brothers and sisters got different sicknesses and illnesses. Guess what? Some that you might not even know of because Esau done poisoned you so long for a long part of time. Guess what? All of a sudden, damn, where did I get this cancer from? Where does tumor come from? Not even knowing that the things that you thought was healthy been killing you this whole time, man. This time is too short for us to keep playing with the Lord, man. We got to get right with the Lord. Keep his commandments. Do what we need to do, right? So we can get the hell out of here. Guess what? It's a time limit right now, man. Right. But guess what? He said his kingdom is everlasting and forever, man. And guess what? Time don't matter over there no more, man. The only time that's gonna matter is when Esau gotta, guess what, serve us for them 1,000 years. That's about the only time that's gonna matter. And that the other people gotta serve forever. Right. That's the only time you gotta worry about. Guess what? All throughout the Bible, you got 40 days, 40 nights, 7 days, a week, months, years, 70 years, 50 and 100 years, right? You got all this time in the Bible. Time to sow, time to reap. It's nothing but time in the Bible. But guess what? He said, I'm gonna give you everlasting time. You just gotta do the will, man. Do what I told you to do, and you're gonna have it all, man. That's why he said you ought to say the Lord will. Because guess what? Lord willing, he keep us in this truth to the end and forevermore. I always say that, man. Guess what? That's one thing I always put in my prayers, man. If it be in your will, Lord, allow me to see that day and forevermore. Because guess what? Even after this world, and we still got to go through the wilderness. We still gonna have to get proved. So you want to keep that fire burning bright in you, man. Say, for you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live, right? Read.
We shall live and do this or that.
Then that's how you say it. Man, Lord, if it be in your will, allow me to do this or to do that. Guess what? That's going into your prayers, right? Whatever you're praying for. But you better ask the Lord first if it be in your will doing it. Because guess what? If it's not in his will, guess what? Don't be mad at it. Because it's not in his will to give it to you right now, man. That's tough, man. That's tough, man. Let me see. Let's go back to Matthew. Go back. Chapter 24. We're going to read verse 13. Got about, let's see. What y'all already said about Bearcat. He said, we ain't got that many left. We got only about 37 more precepts. Nah, yeah, we only got like about 4 more precepts. We're going to get out of here, man. Matthew 24 and 13, man.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13.
But guess what? All these things that's coming upon us, right? All the affliction that we done read, guess what? Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, Romans 13 and 11. But we just read a little bit in James 4 and 13, right? Even with Matthew chapter 24 was reading on down, right? Read.
But he that shall endure unto the end.
Guess what? You gotta endure to the end, man. Guess what? This time is always going. It's never enough. But guess what? The time that we all here, we gotta endure to the end, whatever our end may be. Because guess what? I might not make it. Guess what? When Jacob Trouble start, I might be one of the first brothers to get picked off. But guess what? I got some more time here. Guess what? Officer Barrett probably got more time. Guess what? Your time and your grace is whatever the Lord has for you, man. But you got to endure to the end, whenever it is, man. Endure to the end, right? Read.
The saint shall be saved.
Guess what? You endure to the end, you're going to get saved, man. Guess what? You look at that time, okay. It's only going to hurt for a little while. This time is short. It might take me 30 seconds to bleed out. But 30 seconds to bleed, he said, 30 seconds to bleed out or the kingdom? He said 150s. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. Are you willing to endure that affliction for that season so the Lord can give you that beautiful thing that he promised for you in due time, man? That's the thing we got to look forward to, man.
We know our prophets, they died horrific deaths, but hey, it was all for a beautiful thing, man. Hey, make it into that kingdom because the dead in Christ shall rise first, man. Right. So it's like, hey, I'm willing to take a gunshot wound, get cut in pieces, hey, for the Lord. I'm willing to die for it. Like I got that fully set in my mind, man.
Hey, for real. I'm gonna put this in perspective for y'all too, man. Think about how long Noah and them lived. Think about how long all of them live, over 900, 600, 500 years. Could you stay in the truth for that long? Could you stay in the truth for 500 years, 600 years, 700 years,
200 years,
200 years, and go hard for the Lord? Would you be doing it? Guess what? The Lord made it easy for us.
Yeah.
Guess what he said? Hey, the Lord literally said, you be lucky to make it past 70. And guess what? He didn't even have you in the truth for 70 years. He had you probably in the truth 10 years, 20 years, 5 years. He made this time so short and easy for us right now. We gotta show the Lord his due diligence with that thing, man. That's something to show you about a little time, man. That kind of just hit me through the spirit, man. All praises for that. Because think about it. Think about if we lived to 900. I'm only 21. I'm like, damn, I got about 856 more years to go. In this truth. In this truth, man. Come on, man.
Bro, you asked the Lord to speed up the time, man. And he sped that butt.
He sped it up for us, man.
We finna be, and they so-called New Year's and whatnot, man.
God, think how much the Lord sped up the time. But guess what? Him speeding up the time, guess what? He got to speed up wickedness too, though.
Hey.
With him, guess what? That's why the Lord said 24 and 6. He said, you're going to have to hear about these wars then. Verse 7, you're going to have to hear about kingdoms against kingdoms, earthquake, famines, pestilences. Guess what? If you want the Lord to speed up the time and you want to come back home quicker, all of these things got to happen in a short amount of time. And they have been. Look what's been going on within the past 100 years. Just the past 100 years. That's when you done had all these major world wars. Guess what? We done had slavery. We done had all these things throughout this time, different doctrines, all these things. Guess what? These been around times of old. Don't get it wrong. But look how much the Lord has picked it up from then till now, man. Look how fast he done sped up this time to try to get you to get home, man. But in that time, you got to get right, man. It's no point of saying you're going to do this or do that because the Lord's speeding up the time and you're not really putting forth your hand to the plow, man.
We said the time is at hand. Like, take heed to that.
Time is short, too. Matter of fact, on top of it, let's go ahead and get Sirach 5 and 7. You already know. Sirach 5 and 7. We'll come back to that Matthew 24, man.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7.
Read.
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Guess
what, man? When you kind of, guess what? When you're tearing, you're kind of like, I'm getting to it. I just worked 13 hours. I think the Lord can wait till I take a nap. I just finished doing this for the Lord. I think He can wait. This is how we think, man. Guess what? I'm guilty of it. Guess what? I know brothers and sisters probably feel the same way. But guess what? These are the things that we got to show forth ourselves. But guess what? When you say it out loud to yourself, you get to feel how bad it is, man. Feel how bad it is you're going against your God, man. Guess what? We understand people be tired. Don't even take it no type of way. Let's not be over righteous about this thing, man. But if you know you can do a little bit for that Lord, man, guess what? He said a little leaven at the whole lump. Guess what? A little righteousness will leaven up. Guess what? Will fill your whole body, man. Just that little bit of righteousness, man. Because guess what? Can expel all that wickedness that you probably had, man. That 10, 15-minute break that you take to read, study, or pray, that might get all the spirits off you for the full day, man. Guess what? You never know, man. Oh, I said, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, right? And not put off from day to day, right? Read.
For suddenly.
For who?
For suddenly.
Guess what? At any given time, right? Read.
Shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. And in thy security.
Guess what? When you feel like you at your best, right? When you feel like, I'm back in my house. I'm chilling. Nothing's going to happen to me. I just turned on my ADT alarm system. I'm all right. My truck is locked up. My door is locked. My front door is locked, my room door is locked, and my bathroom door is locked. And I'm in here chilling. Nothing can get to me, right? And your security, right? Read.
The Lord have Michael Myers in the back of your damn closet or something.
Right, man.
Thou shalt be destroyed.
You're going to get destroyed, man. Guess what? If He said, when we come back, we're going to be an army, right? With one mindset, jumping through buildings. Guess what? Flying, man. Doing all these crazy acts. That if you was to see a man do it now, you'll be amazed. Think of what His angels can do right now, at this second. Come on now. Because guess what? You know how to make the means. You got an angel right here and an angel right here. Guess what? You got an angel probably standing right behind you. Right. Guess what? There's three of us right here. It's three angels behind us. Recording everything that we're doing and thinking about right now at this moment. Right. And the Lord can just get him a commandment. Kill him. That's it. What you going to do? The Lord can just say, kill him. Just like this. He probably ain't got to snap his fingers. That's probably too much work, man. He could probably just blink and just like too much work. But I'm just, hey, for real, man. Because guess what? You ain't nothing but earth and ashes. Right. And guess what? We know we're not living up to the reputations of like Noah, Daniel, or Job. Guess what? Them He had some favor with. Guess what? He still got favor with you. But guess what? Hey, are you Noah, Daniel, or Job? Are you David? Are you Solomon? But these are things we're aspiring to too, though.
That might remind me of like I know I brought it up before, but like that Crossroads video. Hey, you know what was his name? Wishbone and his uncle. They over here playing cards. Next thing we know, we see the angel. Hey, he took the nigga head. He dead, man. Hey, just in that second, man. And he over here trying to fight the angel. The angel just walked straight through him, man. Hey, that's real life though, man.
That's for real. That's what I was reading in James. That's what I say. If it be in the Lord will. Guess what? Lord willing, He keeping the truth for one more week so that you can gain a little bit more. Keep me in the truth for a couple more years so I can prove myself unto you, Lord. That way, when you take me, I know I'm ready. Right. I got enough to give to you. Right. They'll be like, hey, well done, my faithful servant, man. Because you don't want to be in the truth. Guess what? You can be in the truth 10 years and you ain't got enough fruit of somebody who's been in the truth 3 months. Right. Guess what? You want to make sure that the Lord give you enough grace to fulfill His will towards you, man. Whatever your lot is, ask the Lord to give you the grace to finish that lot, man. See if you got enough to finish the building, man. Right. Man, Lord, just give me that to finish it, man. Guess what? Whatever you gave me to do, whatever you put upon me, let me finish it. Then you can take me, man. For real. Man, come on now.
I was like, there's a lot of people that be praying raise it, but damn, are you like ready? Y'all ready for all hell to break loose? And y'all really been in those scriptures like that and able to survive that, man.
For real. You saying raise it, but are you raising it?
Raising it.
Come on now.
For real.
You telling them to raise hell, but guess what? You need to be raising up some prayers to the Lord too. Raise hell on these people. But guess what? Are you willing to? Are you? Because guess what? He raising hell on his people. But guess what? Who he raising hell on first? You getting it first.
So
He said, judgment starts at the house of Israel. Are you ready? Are you ready to be judged, man? Man, I'm telling you that's what Christians fall off with that. Judge not, lest ye be judged. They tripping. Because guess what? You saying, judge this nigga, get this nigga. Are you ready for the Lord to turn around and say, what you been doing?
that part.
Guess what? You telling me it's time for me to get on his ass, but guess what? It's really your season for me to get on you. What you been doing? Guess what? Let me see your tree. I don't see no fruits, man. Guess what? You don't want the Lord to walk by your tree like how Christ did and see no fruits on you, man, and thrust you out, man. Guess what? And even then, he got a brother a little time. Came back. Nothing, man. You don't want to do that, man. Read, all right? In thy security.
And in thy security, thou shalt be destroyed.
And read.
And perish in the day of vengeance.
Because that's when Christ come back, that's the day of vengeance, man. You don't want to perish during that time, man. You want to be able to get beamed up and you looking down, you seeing Christ putting in work for us, man. He put in work for us already. And for you to get to physically see with our own eyes now, the Lord just literally, just guess what? He doing it for y'all. All the things we've been through. Guess what? All the sins that Esau done did against the children of Israel. Guess what? He doing it for you. We know he doing it for his father, the will of the father. But guess what? He doing it for y'all, man. He literally going in there with two double-edged swords. Guess what? He's slicing people. He making fire come out of his mouth. He can just say, I rebuke you, and you explode, man. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, he up there cheering him on. Get his head. Hey, every time.
Get his head. I'm telling you, man. That'll be a beautiful, marvelous thing to see, man. But guess what? We got to get right first, man. We got to get right, man. Let's get the next precept. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians while we on this. Chapter 5. 2 more precepts, y'all. We done.
2 and 5.
Now 5 and 1.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons.
Guess what it says? Of the times and the seasons, right? Read.
Brethren.
Who?
Brethren.
Guess what? Who your brethren, man? Ezekiel 11 and 14, Leviticus 19 and 17, man. The people of your own nation, right? Read.
Ye have no need that I write unto you.
Guess what? You should already know this, right? Read.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Because guess what? When Christ come back, man, he come back as a thief in the night, man. Guess what? You don't know. Guess what? Like in the movie Friday, man. The last Friday. When Ricky Smiley coming through the window. Guess what? Craig, they all Chico sleep. Everybody sleep. Guess what? He done came in there. He done stole everything. He was trying to steal the damn Christmas tree.
Right.
Guess what? If you got that much time to do that, think about what Christ gonna do, man. Like he said in Surah 5 and 7, you have security, man. When you chilling, you think you all right. Christ will come back right then and there. Guess what? Are you truly ready? Like I said, Romans 13:11. Did you put on that breastplate of righteousness already? Or are you missing your feet? Or are you missing the chest piece? Maybe you're just missing the helmet. Maybe you forgot your sword. Guess what? Are you fully armored and ready for this thing, man? Guess what? Christ can come back. I'm just throwing it. We don't even know Christ will do this. Christ will come back. He'll tell me, give me 3 precepts on baptism right now. I'm gonna cut your head off. He might give you that grace. You never know. Guess what? You kind of done. Guess what, man? That's why the Lord said, study to show yourself approved. Because the things we're doing now, we're gonna have to do in the wilderness. Right. Guess what? Things we're learning now. Guess what? He's gonna teach us even better. But guess what? You gotta see if you even good enough for that. Guess what? Are you even worthy enough to make it to the wilderness to get proved some more? Sure. Or guess what? Are you just gonna be some of the people that just fall back, man? Man, come on, I'm telling you, man. That's tough, man. Read on now.
Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety.
Guess what? When you saying peace and safety, right? Because guess what? Them Christian pastors, they telling you right now, the time of all hell breaking loose. They said, oh, peace and safety, brothers. Come in peace. Oh, peace. Everybody, peace, peace, peace. Guess what the Lord said in Isaiah, man? He said no peace for the wicked, man. Guess what? There's a lot of wicked people in our nation. It's a damn sure wicked of all the other nations. So it ain't no peace right now, man. Guess what? We got peace. Why? Because we believe on the scriptures and know that these things gotta happen, right? It said, for when they shall say peace and safety, right? Read.
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Guess what? It said they don't. Guess what? When a woman going through contractions, when it first started, I know personally, because my wife was going through. It started off small. It started like a little pain. Ooh, it's like shooting pain, right? Then they started getting closer and closer and closer. So it's so damn unbearable, man. So suddenly, boom, baby right there, man. Little baby Z right there.
Right there.
Guess what? That's a birth right there. But guess what? That's how the world come with sudden destruction. Sudden destruction like that, man. Because guess what? The Lord is really showing you our contractions right now. Guess what? What the contractions the Lord is showing you? The rumors of wars, the pestilences, the famines. Guess what? He's showing you all these contractions because these things are detrimental. These things hurt. Hey, come tell you, them wars, guess what? That's a pain right there. That famine, that's another pain, man.
I started calling them baby Z.
Yeah, I just called him
Baby Z right there.
Baby Z, man.
That's what man.
You know, hey, but that's what I'm saying. There's a woman that travailed because guess what? We're seeing some of these things going on now. Guess what? You see how the world waxing worse and worse. These contractions getting closer and closer until Christ come back out of there. Hey, I'm telling you, because he said he come back as a God, man. Hey, man, if that ain't born again, I don't know what it is, man. That's tough, man. Read on, huh?
But ye, brother,
only talking to his brethren, right? Read.
Are not in darkness.
Guess what? Because you know, man. He said, you're not in darkness because you know. I'm telling you right now, right? Read.
That day should overtake you as a thief.
Guess what? He said, you know so much that when that day Christ come back, it's not going to overtake you as a thief. Because why? You know now, man. Guess what? You know Christ coming back as a thief in the night. So guess what? When you going to sleep, you making sure you trying to, hey, I make sure all my breastplate on. I make sure everything good, right? Because during this time I'm asleep, Christ will come back. I need to make sure I'm good for him. I need to make sure I study tonight because Christ can come back right now. I need to make sure I'm not in wickedness or following because Christ can come back right now. The angels are recording it right now. I need to get right now, man. Because guess what it says? My title of the class, always going and never enough. Because time gonna keep going. You just want to make sure the time that you got, you're doing something productive for the Lord, man.
Right.
Read.
Ye are all the children of light.
Who?
Ye are all the children of light.
We the children of the light, man. Guess what? The other nations are children of the darkness. That's why I said put off them ways, man. Put off the other nations. Put off all that sin. Put off all that idolatry, man. Come into the children of the light, man. Let your light so shine before the earth, right? Read.
And the children of the day.
Guess what? We're the children of the light and we're the children of the day. If he couldn't get no plainer than that, right? Read.
We are not of the night.
Guess what? We're not of the night. Guess what? Light and darkness don't mix.
Right.
Water and oil don't mix. Guess what? Esau and Jacob, they never mix, man. Guess they got mixed babies, but they're never gonna mix that good, man.
Right.
Come on now, read on.
Nor of darkness.
We ain't of the darkness, man. Come on now, read on now.
Therefore, let us not sleep.
Guess what? It said Romans 13:11. It said to wake out of sleep, man. It said let us not sleep, right? Read.
As do others.
Guess what? As the other people do, right? Because guess what? We got a lot of people who don't know, don't consider. I guess we know people who know the truth and then choosing to willingly sleep on this thing, man.
Right.
Guess what? Keep sleeping on it then, man. Because guess what? I make sure I serve my Lord, man. Guess what? All of us right here, we in the same walk. But guess what? Everybody got their own life. Mm-hmm. Hey, if he don't do it, I'm going to make sure I do it. I got to make sure because the Lord ain't going to say, oh, it said though Noah, Daniel, and Job, right? They can't say their children. They can't say their wives, man. They can't. Guess what? Noah couldn't save Daniel. Daniel couldn't save Job. Guess what? It ain't going to work like that, man. It's not going to work like that. It ain't, man. This ain't that and that ain't this, right? Read.
But let us watch and be sober.
Read that again, huh?
But let us watch and be sober.
Watch what's going on in the world. Look at the times, man. And be sober, man. Look at it. Be vigilant about these things, man. Be up to current date with all the things that's going on this earth, man. Know what's going on. And guess what? Know what you got to do to serve your God. And guess what? To make them proud, man. Guess what? It's no better feeling that I know I did something productive for the Lord, man. When I finally get to read, and let's say I'm like, okay, Donovan, just read 30 minutes. You good. Oh, guess what? Let's get 2 chapters in. And I get to reading. Now I done read the 2 chapters, but now I'm kind of precepting a little bit. Now I end up reading 4 chapters. Now I went into another breakdown. I'm refreshing on some baptism. Maybe I want to refresh on some Trinity doctrine. Before you know it, I'm in there going hard. And now once I step back, I'm like, dang, all praises for that, man. Guess what? The Lord just see me do all this work, man. So guess what? When I go to the highways and byways, I make them proud, man. Guess what? These are things we should be looking forward towards the Lord, man. Being sober and watching these things, right? And it's tough, man. Read.
Verse 7. For they that sleep.
Guess what? For them that sleep and stuck in these ways, right? Read.
Sleep in the night.
Guess what? You with the night, man. Because guess what? It said, though hand join in hand, man. Guess what? If you're not with the light, you're with the darkness, man. It's either life or it's with death, man. It didn't give you no other option, right? Read.
And they that be drunken.
Guess what?
Are drunken in the night.
Guess what? If you drunken, man, guess what? Whether it be physically or spiritually, man, you still in darkness, man. Because guess what? Christ is not to be, guess what, to confound people. He confounded people that, guess what, that don't know these things, that don't keep the law, statutes, commandments. That's true. But guess what? Christ will never be like that to us, man. Guess what? These law, statutes, commandments is plain upon tables. That's why I said in Habakkuk, he said, make it plain. Make it plain upon tables, man. The Lord will make it plain. You just got to see it. Revelation 21:12 is like the most clearest precept I've ever read. Deuteronomy 28:15, well, 1 through 68 is probably the plainest thing I've ever read, man.
Right.
Guess what? Revelations 1 and 14 is probably the clearest thing I've ever read, man. That's why he said, man, he said, hey, but if you're in the night, it's hard to see in the nighttime, man. It's hard to see the truth in the nighttime, man. Guess what? That's why they say the freaks come out at night, man. Ain't no truth in the nighttime, man. You ain't, man, come on, that's 5 o'clock in the morning. What you think you finna go do with a sister, man? 3 o'clock in the morning. You think y'all finna go over there and go read Proverbs? Y'all think y'all finna go over there and get into a little breakdown of the Bible, man? Come on now, we gotta get out that night, man. Guess what? We was night people back then. We were night owls. I know me. That's when I did my dirty work at nighttime, man. Guess what? Be in the light now, man. That's what he said. Put on the light. You the children of the light, the children of the day, man. That's what we gotta do now. Come on now. Matter of fact, I did not want to read. I didn't want to read on that. Gotta read 8, man. Got to.
Verse 8.
Got to, man.
But let us who are of the day.
Guess what? You are of the day, right? Read.
Be sober.
Be who?
Be sober.
Read on.
Put it on the breastplate of faith and love. And for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
Guess what? That's literally everything that we need to have. Faith. Guess what? Love is the keeping of the commandments. So guess what? We got faith in the Lord. Guess what? We're keeping his commandments. Guess what? And we got hope in the salvation, man. Guess what? All these things are intertwined with one another. That's how it becomes the full armor, right? Read on now.
For God had not appointed us to wrath.
Read.
But to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh.
Guess what? That's how we attain salvation, man. That's tough, man. Dang. That's tough, man. I ain't gonna get no more. We're gonna stop on this, man. Let's get this last precept, y'all. Matter of fact, second to last precept. I'm gonna pull that Revelation. Let's get Revelation 3:3. I just heard a mighty brother bring this out today, man. Tough precept. Very, very tough precept. Man, shout out to that brother, man, out there. SLZ, man. Padawan, man. Shalom, man. Go ahead,
3:3.
Yeah, Revelation 3:3.
This is book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard.
Pause right there, man. It says, remember that first, man. Remember when you first came into the truth, man. Whether it been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, yesterday. It said, remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, right? Read.
And hold fast.
Guess what? And hold it fast, man. Guess what? You got that. You got these law, statutes, commandments. Hold it fast, man. Read.
And repent.
And who?
And repent.
Guess what? Hold it fast and repent for the things you used to do, man. Guess what? If you holding fast truth and righteousness, what you should be letting go of? This world, lust, folly. Because guess what? You can't hold it like this. You can't drink of the cup of the devil and the cup of the Lord. Guess what? If you're holding pure fast to this truth, you got to let go of the world, right? Read,
If therefore thou shalt not watch.
He said, if you shall not watch. We've been reading about watching, man. Being sober, right? If you should not watch, right? Read.
I will come on thee as a thief.
He said, I'm going to come upon you like a thief, man. Read.
and thou shalt not know whatever I will come upon thee.
Guess what? He gonna pull up on you, right? Guess what? He gonna pull up on you with a shiesty on, ain't he? Guess what? Pull up with a shiesty on in the darkness, man. You walking in the alley by yourself. Or guess what? In your security. In your security. You gonna pull up on you with a shiesty, man, to get shiesty for the Lord, right? Guess what? Hey, them angels do the dirty work for the Lord. Now, them the real shiesty people right there. Guess what? They don't get real slimy, right? They gonna get slimy for the Lord. You need him dead, consider it done, boss. Guess what? Something he don't gotta say it. He just point one finger, man. Hey, turn up. What they say, turn the club up, man. That's it. They gonna do whatever it is for the Lord, man. Guess what? Christ told you himself. Hey, if you don't hold fast this thing and repent, and you not watching, he said, I'm gonna come upon you like a thief, man. And you ain't gonna know when I'm gonna get you. Guess what? I can get you today. I can get you tomorrow. I can get you 10 years from now. I'm gonna get you. Guess what? Hey, you can be just like Moses, man. Guess what? Moses worshiped the Lord and did all these things for the Lord and messed up that one time. God is that. You ain't gonna see Jordan, man. You ain't gonna see the other side, man. Guess what? He gonna pull up. Guess what? But he still had grace on Moses. He ain't got the same thing with you.
Right.
Come on now, you better pray that he do. But guess what? Hey, Moses works like this, and your works was still like that, man. I think he just gonna pull up on you in that mask and get down with you, man. Yeah, he might pull up and pop you real quick, man.
No drive, man.
Nah, well, not the Lord don't do drive by. He said, I'm gonna plead with them face to face. You gonna see me. You gonna pull down that man. You see me.
356, man, walk straight up on you.
Man, I'm telling you, boy. What you gonna do at that time, man? Time is short. We gotta realize these things, man. But guess what? As this time is getting shorter and shorter for us too, let's get this Revelation 12 and 12. This last precept. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 12.
Read.
Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Read on.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Read.
For the devil is come.
For the who?
For the devil,
you wicked ass Edomites, man.
Right.
Read.
Is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Guess what? They had great wrath on us. They did a number to us. They did a good number to us. Hey, and I applaud y'all for that too, right? Because guess what? Y'all doing what the Lord told y'all to do. So guess what? When he tell you to, hey, go back there, boy, and go pick that cotton for Officer Bear Cobb, for brother and brother Cobb, guess what? You better pick it real good. You better pick it real damn good, man. At that. Hey, man. Hey, he said rejoice, man. They had great wrath, man. But at the beginning, he said rejoice, man. Read on now.
Because he know it.
Because who?
Because he had know it.
Because he know, man. Guess what? You don't think them Rockefellers know? Them Rothschilds? You don't think them Jewish people know? You don't think they know what's going on, man? Why do you think they try to fight them brothers in Atlanta? For no reason. Battle ain't even important. They know the time, man. Guess what? You might not know the time, but they know the time. Well, it's like even in Judith.
Right.
Damn Moabite was going down all the history about Israel. He know what's up. Guess what he said? He said, read it again. He said, because he know it, right? Read.
Because he know it, that he had but a short time.
He got a little bit of time, man. Guess what? Them 600 years he been ruling. Yeah, well, we know since way back then, but over here in America, that's cool. You got it. That's cool. That's not even a full day to the Lord. That ain't nothing. That's nothing. Guess what? He said, you got a short time, man. Esau, you better mark your days, man.
Because we got next.
Hey, man, for real, man. Who got next? We got next, man. And guess what? Who the king? It ain't Joe Biden. Who the king? It ain't Vladimir Putin, man. Guess what? It's a Moscow Howard shot, man.
Right.
Guess what, man? Hey, you got a short time, man. You got a short time, but the Israelites got a long time, man. Right. But we got to make it happen by why? Keeping the law, statute, commandments. And with that, man, we're going to say shalom, man. Shalom, man. Shalom to brothers and sisters that tuned in, man. I just hope the class is edifying, man. Try to keep it good, short, and sweet. Try to make sure, hey, that the word came out, that it wasn't in vain, man, that this was used to the edification for the nation, man. Thank you, brothers and sisters that give to the GoFundMe, to the Cash Apps, man. That money is being greatly used for the building of a nation, of a kingdom, man. Thank you, brothers and sisters that throw up mighty and spiritual alms, man. Mighty prayers for the Lord, man. Mighty prayers, fasting. Guess what? A lot of repentance going on. Guess what? You're doing the will of the Father, man. The water for that, man. Guess what? Keep doing these things so that we can go home. We know this time is short. That's why we need to pick it up as a nation, brick by brick, piece by piece, man, and get right with the Lord, man, so we can go home, man. Here at the Battle Axes, man, we always finish with a law, man. I got 2 laws. I don't know which one I want to get, so I'm gonna get both of them. So first one we're gonna get is Leviticus 26:1. 26:1. We got Feast of Dedication coming up. What's that? December 8th is when we start. December 8th all the way through the 15th.
Yeah.
15th. Brothers and sisters, if you want to congregate, contact leadership. Brothers and sisters who are in the congregation, make sure y'all giving your alms, make sure y'all paying y'all fees so that we can have a good time amongst one another, man. But when you get there, go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
Guess what? Don't do none of these things, man. Guess what? That's a commandment that they breaking over there. It said you should set up no stone in your land. Guess what? Over there in Islam, wherever they at, man, they got a big ass stone in their land that they pray and worship, man. So you know none of these people are the true children of God, man. Guess what? Even in Brazil, they got a big tall stone, a Sibo, man. That's going the hell off, man. Read on now.
To bow down unto it.
And they literally do that, man. Read.
For I am the Lord your God.
Read.
Ye shall keep my Sabbaths.
This is what we need to start doing for the Lord, man. Keeping his Sabbaths, man. Read.
And reverence my sanctuary.
Guess what? Reverence his sanctuary, the church. Guess what? The Israelites, man. Reverence all these things. Reverence all the things that he done for us, right? Read on.
I am the Lord.
Read on.
If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them.
Guess what? If you do all these things, right? That's the point. Read.
Then
and only then. Read.
Will I give you rain in due season.
Guess what? It's a time and a place for everything, man. It's a time when the Lord gonna give you these things only if you doing all the things that he told you to do first, right? Read.
And the land shall yield her increase.
Guess what? We don't have land like that now, but guess what? You the land now. Guess what? He's gonna make sure your fruit increases now. That understanding that you didn't have before, now that you got it. Because why? You kept his commandments, right? Read.
And the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
Man, that's tough, man. Now let's get this last one. Deuteronomy 32. 32 and 46.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day.
It's what? Set all the things that the Lord told you to do. Set it among your heart, man, your mind. Put it to your mind to do it today, man. Not yesterday, not next week, not in a couple months, not when you put the blunt out, not after you hit that last sister you've been wanting to hit. Do it right now, man. If the Lord told you to do these things right now, put your mind to it and do it, right? Read.
Which ye shall command your children.
Command who?
Your children.
Guess what? Not only for yourself, command your children, man. Guess what? Command your wives. Guess what? Now the wives, guess what? You command the children. Guess what? This is the trickle-down effect of righteousness, man.
Right.
Read.
To observe, to do all the words of this law.
Man, come on. That's what we need to go do, man. So that we can observe the words of this law, man. Guess what? That's generational wealth right there, man.
Yep.
That's generational wealth. And that's what we need to come back to, man. Because guess what? This time is getting short and we need to get right with our God, man. Y'all got anything?
Keep the commandments and live, man.
That's right. Anything?
No, I ain't got nothing.
Hey, man. And with that, man, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom is real.